Dramatic heists here in the U.S. Thieves making off with millions of dollars worth of Nike sneakers.
Burglars slammed a vehicle into the storefront. Surveillance footage shows the thieves rushing through debris and stealing merchandise.
Exactly where this was going to go. A lot of the stuff goes online at times. Other times there's an attempt to resell it at different locations.
There is a massive problem within the sneaker industry right now that no one wants to talk about. Over recent years, sneaker culture has exploded with many more people becoming resellers and even store owners. But with the high resale prices of new shoes, the game has changed, and more scams and frauds have been exposed than ever before. The first main issue is the backdooring problem. It's essentially when store owners and employees secretly sell pairs to resellers before they actually come out. Now, there's a lot of sneaker boutiques that actually get retail pairs sent to them from Nike. For example, if a Nike SB releases, a lot of times they're going to only local skate shops. And because their stores are so small, a lot of times they have to survive on the resale money. So there's not a huge incentive to sell all pairs in a raffle fairly and give everyone a fair chance at winning the shoes. So this process ends up with real sneakerheads getting nothing when a shoe drops, whereas the resellers get first dibs on everything. And this is not an uncommon theme. This has been happening for years. One of the most notable examples is Marcus Jordan and his store, the Trophy Room. So he's had some controversies in the past, so no one would really put it past him to do this. But to be a son of the most legendary basketball player of all time and a billionaire, it is insane that you need to sell pairs to your friends or even other resellers to get your cut. This incident happened with the Trophy Room Air Jordan 1s. He backdoored so many pairs and everyone got them early. It was just so obvious. Most of the time, store owners won't make it this obvious. They'll try and hide the fact that they're selling pairs under the table. But this specific incident was so obvious that pretty much every news source covered it. And the sad reality is many of these sneaker boutiques actually have fake raffles. So essentially they're pretending to have a raffle so people can get their hands on a limited pair of shoes for retail price. But in reality, no, the pairs are actually going to the regular person. Some of the pairs have already been taken from resellers and sold on the aftermarket. And the craziest thing is that some raffles never even happen. Winners are handpicked by friends and family and oftentimes sold under the table. Or if they do have any pairs left over, it's usually like 4 or 5 pairs out of 50 to 100. And throughout the years, there have been multiple cases of this, even with some Nike employees getting their hands on pairs at home early. I know you have seen those pictures of resellers flexing their stacks of shoes before they even came out on Nike sneakers or Adidas Confirmed. And the craziest thing about this whole process is that these resellers have built long-term connections with these store owners. Nike gives a decent amount of stock to these boutiques, expecting them to have the fairness of raffles and letting regular sneakerheads get their hands on these limited edition shoes. But in reality, many resellers have direct connections with these stores, which essentially allows them guaranteed stock in these shoes before they even release. And the sad reality of this is that backdooring has killed the sneaker culture. People have lost all faith in sneaker releases. There is no trust whatsoever with sneaker boutiques, and most times people know that the raffles are going to be rigged before they even start, which leaves only the insiders and resellers to really have a guaranteed chance at getting a rare and limited shoe for retail. And for certain sneakers, resale prices are insanely high, allowing your everyday consumer or sneakerhead to not be able to obtain the shoes that they really want. So real collectors are being left out, while at the same time, store owners and resellers are making money. So there's really just no love for the culture anymore. And although backdooring and selling sneakers under the table to resellers is really scummy, there are even worse cultures in the sneaker game. And this is the fact that sneakers are being robbed from trains, stores, and even semi-trucks. And these robberies have gotten way out of hand in recent years. But why are sneakers a prime target rather than just cash or something else that's easy to liquidate? The reason why sneakers are specifically being robbed are their high value and they are hard to trace. Anyone can make an account right now on a platform and just sell them online. At the same time, criminals have found that these stores and even these shipment containers don't have that strong of security. And these have made sneakers perfect for the 5-finger discount. Smash and grabs are quick and low risk, meaning it's easy for criminals to just break into a store, grab as many shoes as they can within under an hour, and get out and flip them online within the next few days. There have been many recent viral cases of this happening, going as far as to ram a car into the back end of the store, run inside, and steal everything they can.
Burglars slammed a vehicle into the storefront. Surveillance footage shows the thieves rushing through debris and stealing merchandise.
Some of these thieves even go out of their way to find shipping containers and break into them. And really, these break-ins aren't random. They're probably a part of a larger criminal organization that has taken advantage of how easily and accessible it is to sell these rare and limited edition sneakers. So who knows, maybe there's a lot of black market sneaker resellers out there. And the crazy part is some of these break-ins seem to be too organized. Who knows, maybe it's an inside job. Are there any store owners or employees who are tipping off these thieves about their inventory? Like, how does a regular person know when a shipping container or a semi-truck is going to have these shoes coming in and out? Some of these stores have even been broken into multiple times and didn't seem to increase security all that much. And it's really sad for some of the store owners who genuinely just lose a lot of inventory when they get broken into. But who knows, maybe there's another side to this than just looking at it at face value. But these robberies can take a big hit to small businesses, sneaker boutiques, and even like sneaker reselling businesses. Because of how expensive these shoes are, even if they get away with like 30 pairs, they're taking massive losses. And most of the time, insurance won't cover everything. And then there's the impossible task of these owners trying to calculate how much the value is of everything and what shoes they actually lost. But that seems to only be an issue with the sneaker boutiques and even smaller resale businesses, because at the end of the day, the big retailers don't typically have these issues. They intentionally take fewer risks by not releasing a lot of their products in stores. The result of this is even more backdooring and an even lower chance of getting the shoes that you really want at retail price. And it's sad how many hype releases have had this happen time and time again, and nothing seems to really change about it. And I feel like within recent years, with sneakers growing so much and many more people getting into the culture, it has just attracted so many people who are scammers and criminals, because they know that they can take advantage of the system and make more money doing some things that are shady or even illegal. Because backdooring and robberies are making it impossible for the regular person to just get their hands on a pair of shoes that they really want to have. And this has caused a lot of people like collectors to just kind of give up on the sneaker game and sell their entire inventory. But at the end of the day, it's not just the store's fault. Resellers, the demand of these rare and limited shoes, and the hype culture in general are what really fuel this problem. So really, there's only a few things that I think can change this process other than the culture itself, which is more transparency in releases and increased security. But who are we kidding? Most brands and sneaker stores won't really care about this anyway and continue the cycle. Because really at the end of the day, the money and value of these shoes is really the reason why people are doing these shady things. And at this point, who knows if sneaker culture will return to what it used to be. And if you're into men's fashion, streetwear, and sneakers, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.